This is the most aggressive of the Mormon commenters I've had on my TikTok page. Normally, I would just apply a little yes and, I would apply empathy and boundaries and just move on. But if your intent was to get under my skin, congratulations, it worked. And so I'm just going to say my piece before I hear from you. Based on patterns I've observed from what you've done before, it'll probably be unkind. And so I will be blocking you. But because I believe in the scientific process, I understand that my hypothesis that you're going to be unkind could very well be incorrect. So I guess we're just going to have to experiment and see what happens. To begin with, you're using your anonymity to attack people who do not agree with you religiously. And as I assume you are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a religion I no longer belong to, I understand that you made a covenant at baptism to mourn with those who mourn and comfort those who stand in need of comfort. You're not doing a particularly good job at that, are you? And additionally, you made a commitment to follow Jesus. If we were to really think about Jesus, do you think he would be trolling people on the internet like this? I left the Mormon church, so I am no longer held to that same standard. However, as I left the church, I also learned what boundaries are. And I learned how to stand up for myself and not be a doormat and allow people to treat me this way. Second, you claim to be a scientist. So I would assume that you understand what the scientific method looks like. You understand that curiosity is valued in science. We have questions, we don't understand everything, so we make hypotheses, and then we experiment, and then we come to conclusions. The difference between science and religion is that science is okay being wrong. It finds new discoveries as something to be celebrated, not to be ashamed of. Religion, on the other hand, is ashamed of being proven wrong. And when they are, they talk about how, oh, God changed his mind. For an unchanging God, God sure changes his mind a lot.
It wasn't until the year I was born when God changed his mind about black people. When he said, you know, all that racist rhetoric we heard from Brigham Young, that was him speaking as a man, not as a prophet. And while we're on the subject, let me just change that doctrine so that blacks can, in fact, have a priesthood, but only black men, because women are still not worthy of that priesthood. But you know what? People in the church aren't really liking that, so maybe we'll allow women to be witnesses at baptisms. And that whole thing about homosexuality as addressed in the Family Proclamation of the World, maybe that was a little divisive. Maybe we should allow homosexuals' children to get baptized in the church. And you know what? Maybe we should open up our doors to homosexuals into this church where they're not going to feel loved or welcome. Again, for an unchanging God, he sure changes a lot. So I guess if we were to apply the same logic, we could say that religion is wrong as much as it is right. However, the difference is science is okay being wrong, and religion will double down and say that you're wrong for showing the way that they are. I will continue to be guided by science because it's okay to be wrong. But what do I know? I'm just an old lady.